Hello, hello, and welcome to Friday Live. I haven't done these for a couple of weeks, actually. I'm just going to pull up some notes here because there's so much happening. So there's been so much happening in my life and just stuff. So hang on, I'm just going to pull up some notes here because, okay, so um, the next big event is happening really, really quickly. The next big event being the solar eclipse on the 25th of October. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. I'm going to read some cards just to make sure that we, you know, see what guidance we get from the universe, from my guides and angels, to speak to your guides and angels, because whatever happens, when we can view and observe and make space around it, everything is easier. Now, what I really believe, and I've been talking about this for quite some time, we are still in that transition stage of moving. The Over the past several years, we've started to get, more increasing solar flares, M class and X class flares. At the moment, right now, in this year, and certainly in the last few months, this has been getting more and more intense. And it's like we are all getting this upgrade of solar and galactic kind of energies, and we are all, as well as our earth, we're getting this upgrade. It feels uncomfortable, I have to say. My skin, it feels like every time there's another big kind of flare or something, the Schumann resonance, if you've been following me, you'll have noticed. And the Schumann resonance is just going off the charts, up, down, even blanking out. Hello, hi, I don't know who you are. I'd love to know who you are, because Facebook hasn't told me who you are, because you need to just give access to let me see your name. But I know there are a few people watching. Anyway, so I'm going to read some cards on it, but basically I'll give you just a couple of, and I would, if you're really interested in knowing more about the astrology, about what's happening and that's affecting us, I highly recommend Pam Gregory for she does twice a month. She does before the new moon and before the full moon, and she'll do a forecast immediately after a full moon for the next new moon. So she gives a lot of warnings so that you can look into it and check in. Plus, it's really interesting. I've gotten to know my own self through my own chart. You can get um, a free birth chart if you know the time of your birth, especially, you can guess it if you don't, but we all know our sun sign, the day that we were born. But if you know the time and place of your birth, you can also know your rising sign and your moon sign. And that's really important, because the rising sign is our sort of our inner, what we feel like inside. It's what moves us. And it also shows us where the houses are in our charts. So it all starts to make a lot of sense when you put the pieces together. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that because I'm not an astrologer. So what I do is I get some of the best meanings and feedback from all of these, or not feedback, I get my inspiration about what we need to talk about. And then I am, before this next one, going to do a meditation and put it everywhere. So I want everybody to share it, because I do think we're going to need this. She and several other astrologers have been talking about how, as the year is going on, it was going to start in September, it was going to get more intense in October, and it's going to get very intense in November. So just be aware of that. By knowing, I don't want anybody to jump into fear or anything like that, because if you know it's going to be intense, you can prepare for it. You can, and I'm going to do that meditation to allow us to just allow the thoughts in your head or whatever is happening to stop and to move down into your heart, and to just let it flow then, because we are all just in school. We're in life school, and we're here for a reason. We're here right now. You are here in this moment right now because your spirit chose to be here at this time. And it's magical because we are going through so many changes, and I am getting excited because I really believe we're moving towards the end and the the better part. So basically, every eclipse is like a huge new moon, and new moons are new beginnings. Um, Oh, and lots of people on that I haven't seen for a while. Hi, Claire. Lovely to see you. And TJ, I haven't seen you for ages either. Elizabeth Knox, good to see you. Um, double Cancer and Scorpio. I'm a double Leo and Aquarius, and it's like it's been so intense for me. Um, and Scorpio, we've got a Scorpio. The moon is Scorpio, actually. That's the sun and the moon are both going to be in Scorpio for this solar eclipse. So every new moon is a new beginning. It's the time to set intentions, but a solar eclipse is it's just got massively more energy, and it sort of has an effect for 6 months because the nodal axes, don't ask me to explain that. I barely get it myself, but there's the south node, the north node. So we've got an eclipse now in the south node, and the south node and it lasts for about 6 months before we'll get the next eclipse, and it'll swing around again. So the south node, the moon and the sun are going to be at 2 degrees, and in fact, they're very closely conjunct to Venus, which is at something like 2.39 degrees. It's really closely attached, and they are in the south node in Scorpio, and directly opposite then in Taurus we've got the north node. So the north node is where you're going, and the south node is what we need to leave behind. Um, there are a lot of big aspects in this one that are really going to push us outside our comfort zone. And we need to be pushed outside of our comfort zone because change is always happening. But the change that we resist, if we resist change, and most people do, most people, it's common to want to have sameness, to be comfortable, but if we continue to stay the same, and if we're resisting that change, the universe does give us a bit of a kick in the ass. Okay, if you're not willing to move, it'll be harder, it can be more difficult, but the best thing to do is, and I will do a meditation for that, is to just allow yourself to just rise above it all and imagine that you're looking down on this tapestry of life, and then all is okay. All is well. We are here for, a blip in time, and I believe, I know, because I have done regressions on people who have lived. We're here many, many times, and we will be here again. And we get sort of so attached to this like game of life, and attached to the way we perceive it to happen. And it's so beautiful when we can just allow things to come about. Now, if you do know your rising sign, and if you do have your chart, um, if you've gotten your chart, it's good to know where 2 degrees of Scorpio is on your chart. So I highly recommend Pam Gregory for this. You can download a free chart from her, and I've even bought a very low priced program of hers to show what the meanings are, so that I know each time I listen to her what it means. But 2 degrees of Scorpio for me falls, for instance, in my fourth house, which is home and my foundations, home and family and foundations. So it looks like there's going to be a big change, and there's going to be about a big letting go of something in that area for me. Now, I've had readings already, and it keeps coming up, even when I read my own cards, that there's going to be a move. We have no move on the cards, except I have this huge dream. I hope that's where I'm moving. Okay, so anyway, enough about me. What next has happened? So the other thing that's really important at the moment, and at the start of October, I've been talking about it before, we've got this big square between Saturn and Uranus that came direct again on the 4th to the 6th, but we're still feeling that. And this Saturn and Uranus square has been going on for the past Yes, 2 years plus, and it's Saturn sort of rules regulations, centralization, global sort of, rules and regulations. That's what Saturn rules, a lot, amongst other things. It's kind of, taking responsibility as well, but it can rule government and control. And Uranus is the opposite. It's decentralization. It's the maverick. The Uranus is like the who wants change, embraces change and newness, and is absolutely loves freedom. So the two of those are so opposite, but they're clashing at the moment because they're in this square. And this is the fourth and final square, and it's sort of a waning. So we are very close to the end of a lot of stuff that's been going on in the last few years. I'm not going into detail about that because we all have our own beliefs and things about it. But the moon in the south node is all about the past, so we're moving away from that. There could be something as well. Scorpio can also, it's a very intense sign, very intense, and it um because the moon and the sun and the south node are in Scorpio, it might be it's a time to let go of anything toxicity in the environment, in drugs, alcohol, toxicity in foods that we eat, toxicity in thinking. It can be about secrets as well, and there's a toxicity there in holding on to secrets. So we're going to need to really let go, um, and release anything like that in order to be ready to move into this new state that I believe that we are all moving towards. Let me see, what else have I written down here. The 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 North Node, Taurus is in the North Node, and this actually kind of rules our currencies, money, wealth. And because Venus is in opposite and rules Taurus and is in the South, there could be, and look, it's looking like there is this craziness that's going to happen with money, finances, and um, systems of that at the moment. And it looks like that there is going to be change, and we've already seen massive changes and things dropping and moving up and down. What I want to say is, whatever happens, if there's an almighty crash and crazily crash, which a lot of people are predicting, it won't be for long. And stay in that zone of, it's okay, I'm okay in this moment. Don't allow your mind to gallop off on all of the what if downs, because that will spiral you into a dark place. What we need to do is just know that there is another system all ready to go. There is another, this is about moving away from the old. So we will, I believe, see crumbling of old systems in order to make something new, something better, something much more balanced, something more about people, and sort of not top down, big systems, big corporations, but much more about coming together, in communities, in sharing, in, so whatever that is, I have no idea, but I do feel that this has been coming for a long time. So all I'm saying, I suppose, with that little bit is to not get stuck in any drama, because there will be people that will just jump into drama. And listen, I've turned off my my TV a long time ago because it just upsets me to watch it. We do not need to be frightened, to be forced to look at things that are, making, and it's subliminal in a way, even though it's not, we can hear it, but it actually is a way of hypnotizing us into fear. So just stay on your eagle's perch, or stay in that state of being able to look down. That's my advice. I'm going to see what the cards now say. You never watch anymore. I'm delighted, TJ. Yeah, I think we just have to step away from that, and let's face it, like, it's all baloney anyway. A lot of it, it's all the media is run by the same companies, you know. It's all big, so we just need to step away and you know, yeah, you can see stuff that's important, and I hope that you actually were okay during that hurricane, TJ, because that was, you know, scary. um okay, right, this I'm reading today from the Angel Tarot deck. I've got some other tarot here, which is um, Gateway to the Divine Tarot, and I'm unfamiliar with these, so I'm just going to channel a few of those. And I've got my old favorites as well, the two decks of um, Ascended Masters and Goddess cards. So I'm just going to start, I feel, with the Angel Tarot, and I'm going to see what jumps out and see just what. So looking for anything that we need to be aware of, and what do we need to have or plan for, or what's the best advice that we can get right now this weekend. Right. Okay. Just cut it in three. I'm going to take whatever I feel comes up from this. Wow. Okay, let me see now. Okay, so that one, two, I'm going to just read them the way they fell out like this. I might read 5 of these. The first card that fell out was the Ace of Fire. The Ace of Fire, so fire signs in this are wands. Yeah, wands. And it's about passion, it's purpose. It can be fiery, but it's also about, it's something, you know, it's about what we really want to do. And this is the Ace, which is like the start of something new, and it's the start of something like a really new opportunity. The opportunity maybe with your career, but it's about now getting really clear on what you really want, because it's like career advancement. If you really love what you're doing, does it need to be tweaked? It's okay to change, to actually look at something deeper, because this is all about changing your life now, maybe changing your career, but now is the time for change. So that was probably what I was talking about for the last few minutes since I came on, but there is a change, big change coming. Just be ready, okay? Now the 4 of Earth is Pentacles, so the 4 of Earth, okay. So this is like, you know, the Earth is about, and Pentacles are about our need for safety, our need for finances, our need for it's our physicality. It's also our ability to be able to manifest something. It's our ability to be able to get the thoughts and ideas, the passions from inspiration, from, you know, our highest self, but it's grounding them then. And the 4 is grounding. The 4, it's like the 4 sides to a stable structure, okay? 4 corners, 4 seasons, 4 main directions, north, south, east, west. But there is also it's like we need to get really clear about what we want, especially now before this solar eclipse, because this is a massive opportunity to change over the next, and we're talking permanent change here. There's a permanent change coming about. And so what if you were to make a permanent change, what is that? You've got about 10 days or so, less. Yeah, 10 days, 25th, it's 11 days before that new moon. So get really clear about it. Now, there's also in tarot, the 4 of Pentacles, there is a message about not being too frivolous, and flahool is an Irish word, I think. Anyway, it's flahool, it's been frivolous, basically overspending, overdoing something, but on the reverse, also not being too tight, not being too careful. balance is what we need. Okay. Knowing when to invest, knowing when to stay back, knowing when to save, not being too careful over your pot, but also not being too frivolous. Um, there's something here as well about good business decisions, um, knowing knowing when knowing when to invest. So there could be, if this may just resonate with some of you, that maybe there's something coming up that you're thinking about that you need ideas or answers on. Getting in touch with knowing, or kind of getting help with realizing if this is a wise decision. Okay, so the middle card here, we've got the Knight of Earth. So the Knight of Earth, and Earth again being that Pentacles, it's about it's time to buckle down and really get stuck in with something. It can be also the start and the moving forward, the start of the process of moving forward. Time to buckle down, get things done is what it says. Yeah. Loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. The Knight of Pentacles brings all that. So does that refer to you? Does it refer to somebody in your life? But it's having that sort of being loyal, being dedicated, being honorable, being kind, even if you have to speak your truth and stand up and speak, then speak from that place where that you're speaking, you're allowing light into your heart and your throat, and you're just allowing your heart to speak through, your open throat chakra, and speaking with kindness and love, even if you have to say something firm or something with boundaries, just speaking from a place of love as well. And also just reminding you that you have a guardian angel. This is good. There's a strong presence with us now, and bringing us towards the light. We're close to the end of that tunnel. The Two of Water. The water is emotions. It's cups in tarot, and the Two of Water it's very good for relationships. So if you are in a relationship, it can be the start of getting closer. Being more together, having a stronger emotional bond. But it can also be maybe that there might be somewhere that you need to forgive and let go. If you're in a relationship that really isn't good for you, it might be toxic, the best way to leave is to leave with an open heart, saying thanks on an energetic level, but letting go, not holding on to the past. Because if we let go of somebody, and we're not willing to let go of everything, we take some of that with us to our next relationship. But it's mostly about getting over old stuff, forgiving, releasing, letting go, and actually building new, better relationships. It's kind of um, new, yeah, sort of resolving old issues and then moving forward. And then we've got the Justice card last. And the Justice card is the only major arcana that fell out here. And it's all about fairness. Fairness is coming, good decisions. I'm not sure, did I show you these pictures of the Knight of Earth? I just think that's a really beautiful card. But this is the final one, fairness, justice is coming. So if you feel that you have been done badly, or if you feel that the world is a bit crazy right now, justice is coming and things will be balanced. If you're going through a difficult time, if there's an argument, or if there's a court case, or if there's something that you feel that you're just, justice hasn't been done with you, it is coming, and the best way to do that is to stand up again. Which one was that I was speaking through the heart? I can't even remember. But speak, the last card. Yeah. So being able to speak and stand up, speak your truth, asking for what you need, and justice will be done. I think we all have to hold in our hearts that fairness and balance is coming. Fairness and balance. When you believe something, it's going to happen. But this is a major arcana. Major arcanas are sort of set in stone. You know, they're permanent. They're changed. They're permanent. It will happen. And it's the number 8 as well, is kind of that number of infinity, which is permanent. You know. I'm going to just pick a few. Rhian, lovely to see you. I can't pronounce Serati. Sorry, I'm really bad at reading of names, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm just going to pull, see what comes out of here. I'm going to wait for a card to jump out, and if it doesn't, they don't want me to jump on it. Okay. I'm going to take that. And we've got the Knight of Coins again. Oh no, that wasn't coins. We had the Knight of Earth. So the Knight of Coins then is the Knight of... It is, yeah. It is, because that is Pentacles. It's Earth. So it's the same thing actually as this card. We've got this card reiterated. And it's like, what I'm feeling with this is, again, reiterate the fact that whatever happens, it is time to buckle down. It is time to get things done. It might be time to actually make provisions, to have things ready, to have your cupboard full of things that, I mean, I am a hamster. I have enough food to keep me, you know, that are dry and that are, you know, I feel that there's something that we need to be ready. If there is a difficult time, I don't think it's going to be for long, but we do need to have just in case stuff, so that you can relax and just know that we can weather any storm, and it won't. I don't believe it's going to be for long. But this card is really telling you to honor as well any commitments that you have, to really just... There's something better happening. There's something better coming, but we need to honor any commitments that we have right now. And that might be your family. It might be just knowing that you need to kind of take care of things. This is what's coming to me. I'm not sure if that means anything to you guys. All right. And I'm now going to just pull a few of my Angel Tarot. Catherine, lovely to see you. I will do that. I will do a pick of the cards from today, and I will post it on... Excuse me, this fell down, so I'm going to pick it out. I will post it probably on the Facebook group, okay, in the Heart of Manifesting. As I'm going live on 3 different places here now, and I don't want to do it everywhere. So I'm going to see what it... Okay. So 4 cards. Okay. The first card that jumped out when and it is a fairly used card. So it's Bridget. This Bridget is an Irish saint, actually. And Bridget was she was actually a healer. She was Irish. She healed with plants, and she was like a medicine woman. And don't ask me for a time. I'm thinking, I don't know dates. I'm really bad at times and history and dates, but she had such a strong will, and she was just saying right now, do not back down. Don't... Stand up for what you believe is right, okay? But not in a harsh way, not in an angry way, not in a... This is bringing to mind something now, actually. Not in a hostile way, not in a war-like situation, just by holding it in your heart. She did so much by just being pure. She was well able to stand up for herself, but she would have been alive in the time. Golly, I'm really bad at this now, so don't ask me for a date. But she would have been around in a time when um, what she was doing would have been considered really out there or not. You know, like she was a healer and with energy as well, I think, but mostly as sort of plant medicine and stuff. But she looked after people that were the underdog, and she was really a real warrior. But she did it in a way um, she wasn't confrontational, or she wasn't sort of like a violent. But she got so much done. So it's about really holding that space in your heart and being true to your word. Now, anybody who's listening to this, and I know any of you Irish people are saying, I have just done a really bad job explaining Bridget, but for me, that's what it is. She was a warrior in her heart, and it's sort of reminding us to stay true to what we believe in and to speak up gently. And what it's reminding me of is Mars is about to go retrograde, and that is at the very end of this month after that new moon on the 30th, and that could be very intense. Okay, so what we need to do is to keep stepping back from. We don't want to get involved in the craziness. We don't want to get involved in anger or resentment or in any sort of sense of fighting. We need to hold our space, and we get so much more done. We have more of an impact by viewing and observing. Build that bubble around yourselves. Now, I will make a meditation, and I'm going to put it everywhere, and I'm going to ask people to post it everywhere, because I believe we all need this right now. So I'll do that early next week. Clear and shield your energy is the next card, which I have just been saying, actually. That is what I would suggest doing. Clear and shield your energy, which means getting rid of any toxic negativity, any sort of tenseness or anger, just going into that gap, breathing it, allowing the thoughts or anything that's in your head to move down into your heart, and build a bubble around you so that you are protected, and that you and I do this in nearly all of my meditations, that bubble of protection, so that you're able to view and observe and respond rather than react to a difficult situation. Okay. Isis is coming up now. Isis in this case is actually the goddess Isis, and it's about past life, and this situation involves past life memories. Now, what I feel, I do in my hypnotherapy practice. I do past life regressions, but only for a reason, not willy nilly. I don't believe that we need to remember past lives necessarily, unless we're blocked somewhere here. That's what I would regress people back for. If there's a block that they have, that we go back to look at it and then heal that block so that it's not there. However, I think that this card is really telling us that we've all lived so many times before, and we're here right now at this amazing time because we are warriors, and because we are here to help Earth change to this next really, really wonderful place. And the last card that came out of that lot is Ostara, the goddess of fertility. And this is a really fertile time. This is the beginning of a whole new phase. This is the time to set the seeds of intentions, not now, but on the 25th of on the 25th of October. So it's going to be the 25th of October, 11:49 a.m. Irish UK time. So adjust that. It'll be morning time for most of the world, except for maybe Hawaii, but it'll be the 25th on. So it's, the new moon is always a time to set intentions, like you're setting a seed in the ground, and you're expecting it to grow. But every eclipse, solar eclipse, is, you multiply that by 10 30 times. It is huge. And it has a lasting effect, and it can have permanent effect. So with that, I'm going to stop yabbering on. If anybody has any questions, pop them in there. And I will either answer you now or answer you next week, because I'm going to pop on again on Monday. I'm thinking I'm around on Monday, and I may start looking at putting together a meditation that will allow people to go into this really intense, really turbulent time, October and November. Just watch your head, that it doesn't run away with you, and bring the thoughts from your head down into your heart. So I will do that. You get that star card a lot. Time to set something new then. Time to set new intentions. Could you take a pick of the cards? Yeah, I've already read that. Okay. So I'm going to love you and leave you, because it is Friday night. I'm going to cook some nice dinner and pour myself a glass of red wine and just chillax. Love you all. Have an absolutely beautiful weekend, and I will talk to you next week. Lots of love.